of all, thanks for taking out time on this Wednesday evening, jumping out of your work a bit early to reach here, managing the traffic. So we are Sacred Heart University Alumni Association. We are organizing a private equity event today, and it's in collaboration with the Luxembourg City Incubator providing us the venue. So they are the sponsor for the venue. Big thanks to them. And then we have Three Hills who are sponsoring the catering as well tonight. So our association, as you know, Sacred Heart University had to close, shut down their operations in Luxembourg 2 years ago, in July 2022. But we managed to keep this spirit up and do 3 to 4 events in a year. And we're still managing to do that for almost 2 years now. And we want to continue the spirit and maintain the network. So I don't want to take too much of time. I'll quickly introduce Bastian, who has kindly given us this venue. I would like to say big thanks to Bastian here. Thank you, Bastian.
Thank you, Saeed. So my name is Bastian. I'm the CEO of the Luxembourg City Incubator, which is one of the startup incubators here in the building. Just to give you some numbers, we have around 60 startups which we support, different maturity levels, from very early stage startups to more mature companies who have raised already up to 40 million euros. It counts more or less, so the 60 startups, they have more or less 300 people working for them, and it's spread over 2 floors of space, so 2,000 square meters of space. And we support them along their growth procedures and process, also to go international. And yeah, this is a little bit what we do. So when Saeed asked me to get a venue, a fancy venue, a nice venue, I said straight away yes, let's go, because I was also part of the MBA student batch 2017-18 together with Cristina, Jacqueline, Maxime, and Saeed, and plenty of others. So we are always there to help and to support these kinds of initiatives. And yeah, congrats to have all those people together tonight and have fun.
Thank you, Bastian. So, without any delay, I'd like to invite Cristina, who is going to be the moderator of the panel today. We have a very experienced panel today, and yeah, Cristina.
Thank you very much, Shaheen. So I would ask the panelists please to take your seats. So we want to welcome, first of all, welcome you all to our panel. How to build a career in private equity. As Sahil said, we are in straight collaboration with LPA, so George is at Hamburg. We are also with the sponsorship of Three Hills, and of course the House of Startups. So my name is Cristina Von Mayer. I'm part of the association of the SHULU MBA, and I bring over 20 years of international experience across Europe, US and China. I work for companies like Vodafone, Gartner, Deloitte, Huawei, in building, basically doing business growth and product launches and market expansion. And I'm currently working for European central banks and European institutions in my role at Proximus Luxembourg. So it is my big pleasure now to introduce our distinguished panelists. I will start first to introduce Christine Imbens. So Christine is a finance manager at Three Hills with a decade in private equity. Christine excels in financial reporting, digital transformation, auditing and portfolio valuation, and mentoring future leaders in finance. Christine is known for optimizing processes and driving growth. She holds an MBA in private equity from Sacred Heart University. George Bacallas is head of private equity with 18 years in corporate finance, private equity, and venture capital, serving clients across Europe, Asia, and the US. George is also a founder and angel investor in innovative SaaS and fintech startups. Gunther Fischer, with 22 years in fund of funds investments, Gunther has pioneered climate and infrastructure funds funds like the Emerging Market Climate Action Fund, NCAF, and Gare, renewables, for the European Investment Bank. Now at the EIB Institute, he focused on knowledge sharing and high impact projects, such as sustainable finance. Jens Holletman. Jens has more than 17 years of experience in alternative asset management. Jens worked for 2 major private equity firms, overseeing different kinds of investment strategies across Europe and the US. Jens is now the founder of Intabilis, providing strategic advice and administrative services for private equity. So these are our very knowledgeable panelists. We would like to say that the panel will last around 45 minutes, and we would like this to be a very interactive panel, because we are, let's say, a limited number of attendees. So please, you just raise your question. Don't be afraid to interrupt. If we pass for 50 minutes, there is no problem. There will be also a networking period where you can continue the discussion afterwards with a little bit lighting. Okay, so please be free to interrupt us.
Maybe a remark, and maybe you will answer it later on, but the career paths we're talking now are really classical career paths, coming from the Big Four or others, and then moving through the scales. I'm interested to know how you can grow through it as well, but coming from other paths, and that's what skill sets are you guys looking for, and how are you going to recruit those people as well?
Okay,
people
so
coming from the startup environment, people who had startups, and
maybe we cover this in the end when we cover.
Oh, we can maybe just address.
I don't know. We have to address it later.
No. I was just questioning.
I just remember one example. So we talk later also a bit about education, and Gunther and I are giving a private equity course here in Luxembourg. Previously, we gave it for Sacred Heart University. Now we give it to Arches Aviation. And I remember we had one student who was client relationship manager at Vodafone, and he didn't have a clue about private equity. But he was interested in this topic and did our course. He finished the course best. And then he said, I've learned now so many interesting things, I'm doing the MBA as well. And after the MBA, he just was looking for positions at PE houses, and he found one. And now he's working in PE. So this is not a typical career, but they exist. But this then requires also some educational background to evidence some experience and knowledge in the industry.
And maybe to expand a little bit, I mean, the private equity universe is broad, the alternative investment universe is very, very broad. And if you're raising a fund to do life science investments, venture capital, you will not be credible without somebody who has an academic background in life science, molecular biology, medical background or so. So these are not the typical finance careers. These are people who bring the content. The same for infrastructure. If you're doing renewable energy investment, you will want to have an engineer in the team, a civil engineer doing the construction, or an engineer who understands the electricity systems, things like this. If you're doing infrastructure investment, the same. You need to, or real estate. You need a building expert around it. So these are not the typical, the finance career and auditing and you go there. But these are experts that, what I think you were referring to, or as well, because you mentioned startups. If you have an experience of you yourself a serial entrepreneur, or you have coached others, this will be for venture capital firms, for growth firms, very interesting to help them grow. So there is this room in fund managers, for instance, as well.
And what I would like to add as well, what's very important is a network. In order to get access to private equity houses, it's really helpful to have a network, because a lot of the open positions are not necessarily freely available. We work a lot with headhunters, and it's very rarely, especially for the more senior positions, that we would post something on LinkedIn. Then we're working with very exclusive headhunters. But I also want to add to that, for example, in our firm, in our London office, we have a former communication expert from the fashion industry, nothing to do with private equity, who started working with us a couple of years ago. So there's definitely the possibility to make that transition. One, if you keep studying, keep being aware of what is happening on the market with a network, and an open mind, I would say.
And if I may, also one addition, let's assume you're joining a firm with a technical background, you will still need financial expertise, because you will make investments, this risk-return assessment and to appraise that, but that you can learn.
To what extent using AI is impacting or likely to impact these professions?
A big applause to the panelists.
And we also have Esther present here. She's the advisor of the Alumni Association. So and she gave us very important advice for this event as well, which actually worked out pretty well. Thank you.